G'day, my name's Peter and I'm doing a talk on night shift. Unless you're lazy enough to be a theatre nurse, then it's most likely that at some point you have to deal with night duty. Now to start off with, where did night duty come from? Where's its origins? Well, the history of night duty goes back many centuries to the plains of Africa, where little meerkats used to sit and look over their burrows at night, protecting their young. Centuries later, this has evolved to what we now know as night duty. So what are the pros and cons of working night shift? The positives and the negatives. Why do we actually work night shift? Now pay would have to be one of the biggest driving factors of working night shift. Your pay can increase 36% from just doing one fortnight of nights. That's about $600 worth overall. That's about 60 Jaeger bombs. That's massive. That's a huge night out. You wouldn't be able to even talk after that. Not only do you earn more money, but you also can save money. Seeing as you're not actually doing anything, all you're doing is getting up, going to work, going home and sleeping, you actually don't spend any money. So on top of all the extra money you make, you're saving a bucket load on top of that. To work night shift, we first have to trick our bodies into staying awake overnight. This is normally the hardest bit. Our bodies are controlled by an internal clock, much like a watch, but it's in our hypothalamus. This clock is called our circadian rhythm, and unlike first thought by Albert von Finkenbein in the 1800s, this has no relation whatsoever to the cicada. Our circadian rhythm actually controls many of our physiological and behavioural processes, such as temperature control, hormone production, tiredness, awakeness and sleepiness. These circadian rhythms are actually run over a period of about 24 hours and affected greatly by light and dark. So by working night shift, we're actually disrupting our circadian rhythm, and the more shift we work, the more disrupted it becomes. And if you do it too often, it can leave you looking like this. Terrible, hey? By the time you finish night shift, most likely circadian rhythm has adapted to your current shift work. And so you have to go through the process of realigning it back to your normal days all over again. One of the other main positives of working night shift is the fact that traffic is going in the complete opposite direction to what you're going. So when you're coming to work, there's no one on the roads because they're all at home in bed. When you're coming home from work, they're all going to work. So complete opposite directions. See? And on top of that, parking's a dream. There's no one around at 9 o'clock. You can just park anywhere. You can park in the middle of the street if you want. No one cares. No one's there. It's fine. By day 7 of night duty, you're doing some pretty crazy things. Okay, I'll admit, I'm struggling to find positives to the night shift, so let's just skip the positives and go straight into the negatives. They're more interesting anyway. Though you get a 13-hour break in between shifts, it's most likely that your sleep is going to be fragmented and less effective than normal. This is because there are more distractions like light and sound. What begins to happen is you accumulate a sleep debt. What is a sleep debt, I hear you ask? Well, most people require around 8 hours sleep a night. When you get less than this, such as 6 hours, then you form a sleep debt of 2 hours. When we reach the end of our shift, this debt can be as large as 15 hours. This can cause us to be fatigued, decrease our concentration and cognitive reasoning. The only way to make up these hours is to catch up the sleep that you've missed, and the sooner the better. Now, on a serious note, during night shift there are less staff on, so it's important to be always prepared just in case there's a Met call. Did I mention you do stupid stuff? Now, if you do get a little tired while working, there's always the distraction of TV. I recommend Hot Dogs Up Late, fantastic viewing. And if you're lucky enough to work on the 8th floor, you can watch it on one of the 5 plasma screens. Now, I don't see any of those plasma screens down on the theatre now, do you? As it tends to be quieter on nights, you often get to spend a little bit more time with fellow staff members, and sometimes that can lead to undesirable consequences. Now, some people say it's good to drink a bit of coffee. Well, there's positives and negatives to drinking coffee, but for a quick fix, it's not too bad. Long term, not the greatest thing. And too many coffees, well... That's important, but you make sure you have a good alarm while on nights, otherwise you might slip right through your shift. And the best alarm would have to be an air horn, of course, as you'll see. As you can see, it works at 3. Now you've got to be careful because on night shift you tend to eat more. You tend to eat just crap. You tend to eat just anything that's sitting on the table. That most of the time will be lollies, chips, and lollies again. So you need to be careful not to add a couple more of these rolls.
Arr! Why do not chip when you can paddle down the yard? Arr! Yar, how'd you be? Top of the afternoon.
Now when it comes to getting sleep, it's important not to use sleeping tablets, as they can stuff up your rhythm and actually make you more sleepy, as the sleep you have is less likely to be effective. So your best options are to darken out the room, so reduce the light, and also make sure there's no distractions like sound or a TV. And try and use your normal cues for sleep. So if that's having a shower, have a shower before you go to bed. If that's having a hot chocolate, then have a hot chocolate. Though I wouldn't recommend coffee, as this probably wouldn't really help. Driving requires a person's full concentration and skill. When you've worked a night shift and you're driving home, you're most likely fatigued. As you're tired, you can lose concentration, and any lapse in concentration can be detrimental. A lapse in concentration for only a couple of seconds can be the difference between life and death. Even a 5-minute power nap can make the difference. Some techniques you can use to try and stay awake. Keep the windows down. Keep the windows down to get a bit of a breeze going through. Cold air in the morning wake you up. Also air conditioning. Also loud music. Have the windows down, air conditioning on, music up.